Probably not, because would they listen to it anyway? You know, they're going to do whatever their peers are doing. And the thing that comes across with a lot of these groups, and they do it in the adult groups as well, is this whole point of having lots of connections. You know, and somebody pinging you a message, add me as your friend. But who are you? Why do you want to connect up with me? Qualify that. Don't let that peer pressure of having 10,000 friends be the dominant force. It's much better to have 10 really good mates than it is to have a lot of noise going on there. So using the right way, if you're having proper conversations online with people to get to know them because they are 20 miles away and you can't talk to them after school properly because they can't come down the park, then fantastic. But use it with that intelligence.
I mean, you've touched on a really important point. There's a lot of pressure on young people to have so many friends. I mean, let's turn to the audience. Do you think there is a peer pressure on you to have a certain amount of friends? If you've got a social networking site and you've only got 10 friends, you're not going to look very popular. What do you think on that? Let's get some views. I mean, have you got any views on that?
To be honest, I don't really think that way because on my Facebook account, I only have a certain amount of friends that I actually know from school and the friends that I made at college. So I wouldn't add any third person who I don't know. So that keeps me away from people that I don't know. So I think that's secure for me.
Okay, let's get some other views. Anyone else got a point?
Generally, on touching on his points, wouldn't it be a bit sad to know people that you don't really talk to anyway? I'd rather have, as he said as well, just have that small group of really good mates that you know and that you generally do interact with on a daily basis rather than having 2,000 or 3,000 mates that you probably just add and never see again.
Okay, so, I mean, when we've got so many connections going on, if I could just turn back to the panel, Fazal, do you think there's actually a danger that we could be connecting with people that we don't really know?
To some extent, but you can filter. You know, when you're asked to connect, you're sent a request. You can decide whether you want to connect or not, or you can qualify it and ask a question. But I come back to relating it to real interactions. With real interactions, let's say if you're having a conversation, you'll look at who you're talking to, you'll look at their state, you'll connect with, this is the type of relationship I have, and you'll say one thing to one person and you'll say it in a different way to a different person. The danger with email is that you CC everyone and then some people get the message in the wrong way or get information that you hadn't intended to send them. And it's the same with Facebook and social networking sites. The people have started to put up almost like all of their dirty laundry on this site, and with their close chummy friends they share that and they all have a laugh. And then suddenly someone at work says, I'd like to be your friend on Facebook, and they connect up, and inadvertently they've exposed things that they shouldn't have to someone at work, and people are getting into trouble.
Okay. Richard, if I could turn to you, are there any specific health implications with using the internet or using computers and technology for so much of the day?
I think I was thinking one of the links provided to Eric Sigman's article. It might be part of a wider social trend that we actually spend less time being physically active every day. I'm not sure that you'd necessarily blame the internet for that. Clearly it's an easy target. One of the things I wonder is around developing skills through your young years. You need to develop the skills to make friends, to remake friends when you have bust-ups and fallouts and that sort of thing. And I'm thinking that actually you need those anyway. You use them slightly differently when you're using different ways to communicate, but everybody needs them. And if you're going to have trouble with that, you're probably going to have trouble with it anyway. And your parents and your teachers will need to know how to help you with it.
Okay, well, some commentators have gone as far as to say that the internet is something you could actually be addicted to. Would you agree to that?
It seems highly possible in the sense that it's so easily available, and that's one of the features of things that you do become addicted to. If they're immediately, easily, always available, and they're always immediately rewarding, then you are perhaps going to find it more difficult to do without it, to actually stop yourself from using it.
Right, okay. Let's move to the audience. Do you guys know any friends or family who've actually become so reliant on the internet that they find it hard to interact in the normal real world? Have you got any experiences of that happening?
So I just wanted to add to one of the points Fazal made about people who didn't intend to see the information are seeing information. As a student in university, you get a lot of information from employers and telling you what they're looking for. And one of the warnings has been sent out that be careful what you put on Facebook, because employers actually now check Facebook. So a lot of people, put the picture of them being drunk in a party or something. So that's, I think
that's a really good point. We'll come back to that later on. Specifically, do you think people are actually using the internet too much? Do you think it's something that you can actually be addicted to and it actually affects the way you act in the real world?
Yes, definitely. Sometimes the problem is that you go on the internet for a purpose. You start, you're going to do this research or something. Before you know it, the way the internet works, one thing links to nothing links to nothing. And what did I come for? I've been here for 5 hours looking at 17th century bananas or whatever, I don't know.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Some from wacky theory or something.
So let me ask someone else. I mean, do you think you actually, once you've got onto the internet, you find it hard to switch off and you lose focus on what you actually, started working on?
Yeah, I can say that's definitely true. As with Gus, there's just too many links. And you can just get lost within the internet and lose your purpose. And yeah, definitely agree with that.
Okay, so do you think that's a worry that you might become addicted?
In a sense, yeah, but then to be honest, I'm more the type of person who just will find like a specific book, or actually find my teacher. I think they're the best resources for information, because you just get information straight to you with no hustle of the internet.
Right, okay. Richard, let me turn back to you. Do you think there's actually any signs to look out for in terms of internet addiction?
Purely, I guess, following on from what you're saying, that the pure length of time that people are spending on it. And I'd echo what you're saying. I know that when I go to the internet, I need a sheet of paper, old-fashioned paper, make notes of the specific purposes that I want to fulfill there, and try to resist the links, the temptations to go on to so many other things. And I guess that would be one of the things to ask your son or daughter is, how do you find it when you look through it? Do you find that you're just wandering aimlessly everywhere and for many more hours than you actually intend?
Okay, we're going to be coming to the end of our program soon. Are there any final words you'd like to discuss, or final words you'd like to leave us with about what we've been discussing today?
Yeah, I think what you've got to do as young people is that the priority has to be in believing in yourself and trust your gut instinct about all these different places and these different ways of doing things. And don't be swept away on this wave of enthusiasm and get lost in that. And be grounded and enjoy it and use it to your benefit.
Okay, thanks. Fazal, any final words?
Yeah, I think the internet's been a revolution. Enjoy it, use it. As far as social networking, I don't really use that many sites, but people who are het up on how many friends have you got, well, are you any happier if you've got 1,000 friends than if you've got 2 good friends? So you'll know whether it's helping you or making you feel worse.
Okay, and Richard, how would you like to wrap up today?
Good question about the pursuit of happiness. There's a lot more being written nowadays about how you can actually make yourself happier. It doesn't mention the internet at all.
Right. Okay, well, I'd like to thank all of our panel here today and everyone in the audience. Obviously, it's a big ranging topic, and we'd love to hear your views as well. Email us, our address is realtalk@mta.tv. Thanks again for joining us, and I hope you can join us again next time for more Real Talk.